What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And today I've got something special for you. Years ago, as a young man, I bought this off of eBay. This is photocopies of the original Rick Veitch issue 88 for Swamp Thing. So, at that time, in my early to mid-20s, I was everything Swamp Thing. And after I finished reading the 6 trades of Alan Moore, I started collecting the individual issues of Rick Veitch's run. And it was transformative stuff, man. He picked up what many considered to be an impossible ball, and he ran with it. So first off, you have this cover that he illustrated, and that was going to be one of the sticky points of getting this comic book published, was the fact that The Last Temptation of Christ had come out. This was the late 80s. And there was a lot of religiosity out there, but there was also a lot of backlash about religion and taking sacred things and twisting them, whether for good or for bad. And you eventually get to see, I'm not going to share all the pages with you, but you get to see Swamp Thing. Hang on a minute. Oh, by the way, the interior art was going to be by Michael Zulli. So that's awesome as well, because Michael Zulli is a very underrated artist in my opinion. There's a lot of people out there that love him, but there's a lot of people out there that don't even know who Michael Zulli is. And that's a shame, because his artwork precedes him, and it's very grounded, down to earth, and with a extremely realistic but intriguing style. But the whole gist of this issue was that Swamp Thing is traveling backwards in time thanks to this arm that is holding this golden piece of amber. And through that, he's traveling through time to meet all of these important individuals. Okay? For example, he's going to meet Anton Arcane in earlier forms. He's going to meet aliens. He's going to meet all of these different creatures. It's a time travel epic is what it is. And here, he was going to meet Jesus Christ. He was going to meet the Savior. And DC okayed it. They thumbs up it. They said it's good. And then they went back on it. They said, mate, wait a minute. Maybe this is not where we need to be. Maybe this is not a book that we need to publish. And you get a Roman centurion who goes out there, and he's one of the ones that meets Jesus when they crucify him. But what happens to him is that he runs across Etrigan the demon before he can go out there and do his job. And as that's going on, then you have Swamp Thing floating through time. The thing about this time travel epic was it is very ethereal. It's a who's who of people that Swamp Thing could meet. And once met, they could help him become a better version of himself, a more well-rounded version of himself, learning about time, learning about himself, learning about how to help others and use his powers wisely, the powers that the Parliament of Trees only speak of cryptically. It can make him a better Swamp Thing and a better hero. And in the end, I've read through this entire thing and I don't see anything that is openly blasphemous. But for whatever reason, DC at the time nixed it. Now the good thing about it is, since these pages have become rather beat up over the years, I think I only paid $15 for this at the time. How cool is that? And I've had this thing for like 20 years. I really should get it into a better format. I should get it put together and get it more secure so that nothing else happens to it. But it's been well read, well thumbed through, and I pored over it for a long time. And at one point, I even emailed Rick years ago on the comiccon.com message boards. Some of y'all might remember comiccon.com. And told him that I was not an artist, but that I had writer's potential, and that I was going to go back and I was going to finish writing the story that he had begun. To that extent, I went out there and bought some older Silver Age books for other characters that he was going to meet, because, you know, the time of Jesus, people were still intelligent, they were capable of speech, things like that. He was going to travel even further back to the beginning of time, to the beginning of the Claw with Amber. And man, I was invested in that in my 20s. And it just never came to fruition. Not to my satisfaction. So maybe now that I've got a firmer grasp on writing and the necessary time to get put into it, maybe I can revisit that and go back and finish this. But they are going to publish this issue next year. And they're going to publish issue 89, 90, and 91, which will finish off Rick's original vision for this story arc. So are you guys excited for this? Is this something that you are going to rave about? Because I'm ready to see how Rick finishes this thing off, since I didn't have the cojones and the wherewithal to do it myself back in the day. So, just a little neat piece of history for the Comics Couch. I hope you guys enjoyed this look back at what could have been, and the idea that Swamp Thing could meet famous people and not only influence them, but be influenced by them. So, you guys let me know down in the comments, did you read this particular run of Swamp Thing? And if you did, what did you think about Rick's original contributions to the title, to the character of Alec Holland? What were your thoughts? Did you enjoy it? Did you think it was a derivative from Alan Moore? Or, like me, did you just eat it up? Thanks for joining me, guys. And I've got a lot more cool things coming down the pike.